Hey there everyone, this video is going to be for trainer ID manipulation for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So I've got my 3DS open up, and that's because I'll show you the method on a 3DS because it's actually easier there, and then you can just apply this to Citra if you like. The general broad strokes is that this is very similar to Gen 7 trainer ID manipulation, and that every single time you say no when they ask if your name is correct, it will advance by, the frame will advance by 1. In this case, TinyMT will advance by 1. And that is pretty much all you need to do. So you just find whatever target you want, and then just keep putting in your name and then saying no and keep going forward a whole bunch of times. However, using NTR and the NTR helper, you can in fact make this a little bit easier on you. So I'm going to go ahead and move over to Alpha Sapphire, and remember to, while you're doing this, hold left while you open up the game. So holding left, and I can see on my 3DS that I got the 3 flashes. It goes blue, blue, green, and then it stays on this. So that's how you know you did it right. So anyways, you just need to go to your NTR helper and put in the IP address of your 3DS, which I already know what this one is, and then you hit this one-click button, and it'll connect, say breakpoint set, and then the game itself will start up. And here we are. So it already got, if we bring up our tool right here, it already copied over our TinyMT seeds and everything from the start, but we don't need to use them yet. Anyways, so all we have to do is just go through our introduction here. So yeah, we're gonna play in English, begin the game, and we have to go through the opener here. Just a few clicks to go, and then we have to watch the intro. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Birch. I do like how it's a little retro here. It's like, oh, you're actually playing this video on like a, I don't know. Either way, welcome back to Gen 3, everyone. So yeah, you get to see this lovely updated graphics thing. Good old Aron. I love that Pokemon. So yeah, there's nothing I can do right here. We're just working our way through. And then when we get to a specific point, that is where we're going to do our magic. Eventually we'll get there. There's a whole lot of stuff in between. Okay, we're almost there. So now he's gonna ask. Alright, so this is the point here where let's take a break. So this is where you're actually gonna be able to calculate out things, because from here your TinyMT won't advance any further. So TinyMT will stay here. So go ahead and bring up your tool and click the I'm lazy button, which automatically, since you already are connected with NTR to the tool, it updates everything there. Now the great thing is that you don't need this tiny timeline tool for this. All this, forget about it. It's gone. We don't need to worry at all about TinyMT because we have the initial seeds right here. So let's see. I want a trainer ID of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Wow. Not tough. Tough sell. All right. 0, 0, 0, 0. Let's try a few more. 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. Let's see if there's anything. Perfect. 1952. Now that is quite a distance here, because keep in mind that this is basically, you're starting at frame 0, and you have to advance all the way up to 1952. So that will take a little while. Let's see if there's something else. let's do 2, 3, and 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Do a few more just to see if there's anything closer, which there is, of course, not. So let's just see what's close enough. We'll deal with that. Perfect. We're gonna go with... Oh, right. Here's another problem. Start at frame 0. Yeah, this one looks pretty good, but it's actually really close, so let's see. We'll see if there's anything that came up in the first. Ooh, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Alright, nothing in the first 497 frames that we missed. So let's just go with this one, frame 20. So what you can do here is, I'm going to start my game back up, and we've already determined that 20 is our target. Bring up your NTR helper. Now, if you're doing this on Citra, you can't do this ID bot thing. So just keep that in mind here. We're going to start at frame 0, and we're going to go put in your target, which is 20 in this case. And then you have your bot speed, leave everything be if this is the first time you're doing it, and have whatever portrait you want. If you want to be the male character, highlight that. If you want to be the female, highlight that. And then click, oh wait, make sure that you have input redirection turned on. So, on your 3DS, open up your Luma menu, which you should know, but it's hold left down on the D-pad and then select, and then miscellaneous options, start input redirection. This is very important because otherwise this won't work. So here we go, we've got 0, 20, hit start. And it should start to do things. Didn't actually do things. Sometimes it doesn't do things. Sometimes you have to start... Sometimes you have to start it a couple times here. Let's stop in input redirection, and we'll restart it again. Alright. Now let's click start again. There we go. Okay, so now you can see that the bot is actually doing everything for you here. And so let me bring up, well, I don't have to do anything, because you see it's saying, entering in the name that, whatever, just entering you, saying okay, and then when it asks, you're you? It says, no. And then it goes back, and you can see that the TinyMT frames are advancing. So let's bring up our tool again here, and you can see E5, so we're at 3 right now, and the NTR helper says 3 as well. So it's going to do this, and it will continue to do so until it finally reaches the target of 20. When it reaches frame 20, it will stop. It'll stop at the picture. So you can actually pick boy or girl at that point. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to leave this running here, and you can just watch it. I'm going to leave this running, and I'll come back in. Let's see. It's taking about a minute to get to 5 or so. I'll come back and show you when we get to 20, and we'll confirm that everything works. So I will see you very soon. Alright, we're back. So you can see the bot has stopped. We're no longer doing anything. It says that we're at 19, and if you look at our tool, you can see that 19 corresponds to the exact same TinyMT seeds. And the reason it stops here is because what happens when we hit A here... Oh, right. We have to give a name to. As soon as we selected the portrait, it gave us the TinyMT seeds advanced. So you can see here, EB100 or whatever. This whole string here corresponds exactly to the TinyMT seeds, so we should be good. So we go ahead and we're going to close this. We'll name our character now. And this time you actually give it a name that you want. You're fully in control here. So we name it whatever we want. once I figure out where the Y is. Okay. And this time, you do want to say yes. And you're all set. So, yeah, I'm that Cappy, alright? So this'll go through the rest of the whole rigmarole, but you should get the ID you want. And we'll double check that once we actually get into the game itself. Now, if you don't have a 3DS, you can do the same thing, you just can't use the NTR helper. It's exactly the same process, you just have to keep saying no a whole bunch of times, and you can't do a bot. You can't have a bot to do it. Also, interestingly enough, well, first off, before I go into what's interesting, let's go ahead and we'll check our ID. And our ID is hidden behind that, so we'll hide this. 16328. And hey, look at this. The ID we were shooting for is 16328. So perfect. Everything lined up exactly as we wanted. So we can go ahead and save our game. And yeah, so if you're... The interesting thing about this is that you could also do the exact same thing for Gen 7 with the NTR bot. So that's something I didn't talk about much, but yeah, you can set up NTR. It's a different screen entirely, but it will work exactly the same. But yeah, that's all there is to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So if you want an ID, it is actually a lot easier to get it in those two games as opposed to in X or Y, but now we have both of them, and so we can move on. Our next video will be Starter Pokemon, which is the same in both versions. And the great thing about these is that we don't care about Tiny MT for this. Well, we'll get there. There's going to be plenty of Tiny MT in our future. But until then, we'll just take it easy, and I will see you all next time.